Area 51 Sunday Yu-Gi-Oh! And we have Ryan taking first place. What deck are we playing?
I was playing Pendulum Magicians, my favorite deck of all time, probably.
Nice.
I played against Black Wings round 1. Round 2 I played against my Akashi, and then round 3 to conclude I played against Zombie Lightsworn.
Right.
Kind of like a little bit of a casual turnout today. I wasn't playing like anything meta or anything, but yeah, it was a fun tournament regardless. Starting with the Magicians, of course, I played 3 Chronograph Sorcerer and the 1 Time Gazer. These are kind of like pseudo magicians in their own right because they can fetch you the scale whenever you want, and then or be a magician on the field, so that's really cool. It's an extender to get to your Electromite. 3 Wisdom Eye Magicians. This card tutors out whatever magician skills you have, so long as you have another magician in the other scale. It's really cool, and it's a plus kinda because you can always cycle the monster back or pen summon it and get more utility out of that. A little different. I keep on changing like little things about the build, but I went back to playing 3 Black Fang Magician, reborning Dark Spellcasters, and having the high scale is always like a good thing. The deck kind of like in terms of physical copies has less high scales than low scale copies, so that's really cool. Yeah, it's better that I played 3 of this. 3 Harmonizing Magicians. It's like another +1 that aids in summoning your rank 4s, level 8 synchros, and just link climbing to get to your like strong, powerful link 4 monsters. So it's really cool. Also, I'm sorry. You can also set up a rank 6 and a rank 7 play in my deck, which is very vital for basically setting up for turn 1. I played 2 Oak Dragons. It's a plus in the Pendulum scale and a +1 on the field when you summon him, because he cycles back a magician if he's in the scale back to your extra deck, from extra deck to hand, and also recovers a magician Pendulum monster in the graveyard when he's Pendulum, normal or special summon, so that's really nice. I played 2 Purple Poison. This card was really useful in outing like Floodgate, like basically Floodgate monsters or Floodgate spell trap cards. Boosting up your attack by Dark Spellcasters by 1200 is really cool. And then the last Magicians I played is 1 Janky and 1 Dragon Pit, low and high scale respectively. And they're level 7s because ideally this deck races to get to your Odd Eyes Absolute Dragon to set up the Vortex. That's ideally like the best form of negation you have turn 1. It's also really good summoning it going in turn 2, but yeah. Okay, so that's it for the Magicians. Pretty high Magician count today. I played 3 Mythical Beast Cerberus and 3 Jackals. This is a little unconventional that I added the 3rd one, but these cards were just really good cards to have because they were just kind of oppressive boss monsters in their own right. So I decided to, it's normally 3 and 2, but I added like the 3rd copy just because it can negate monster effects, and just Pendulum summoning them alone with no counters, because like this card gets counters. When spell cards activate, and it can negate monster effects just by if anyone activates a spell card. And then this card like is typically used as an extender to get to the Electromite and then set up, but it's also, you can also banish monsters your opponent controls by removing 4 counters. So that's really cool. They're just really big boss monsters in their own right. So yeah. And then the last part of like, I guess, or no, there's more to it, but here's 3 Dark Worm and then 2 of the Gate 0. This is basically another copy of a low scale, so this is basically a Skull Crobat Joker on summon that adds you this skill. And it's also really nice because it's a level 7, and you typically use that to set up the absolute play, which I'll show you later in the profile. And then the last Pendulum monster I have is 2 Curtain Raiser. It's just that, again, another extender, so I play 10 extenders in this deck to reach the Electromite prior to the Pendulum summon. It's a really good number in a 40 card deck. And also, it goes up to 2200 attack if it's the sole monster on the field, on my side of the field. So you can crash into Naturia Beast and cards like Inspector Border with the Greatest Disease. So yeah. And then spells, we have 3 Pendulum Call. Just getting whatever Magician Pendulums to your hand to basically pick out your scales is really nice. And they can't be destroyed by card effects, so that stumps opponents pretty hard. My favorite spell card in the game, 3 Pot of Desires. I always love like seeing this card, but it's also so detrimental when you see it get ashed. But I really love it so much that I try to like want to see it every single game I can, because Pendulums, like, they don't care. You just like getting that +1 is just very vital in a Pendulum deck because you need all the resources you can get. And then the last 2 spells I played are 1 Foolish and 1 Dragon Shrine. I see a lot of people play 2 and 1. I just kind of upped the extender ratios of, or extender Pendulum monsters with like Curtain Raisers, just because I don't like seeing confliction between these cards. I mean, I kind of like seeing I kind of like up the count of desires, but that's just something I'd rather see as opposed to multiple of these. So yeah, so it's a 40 card main deck. Let me go to the extra deck, one moment. Alright, here we go. The one Electromite, obviously. Last time you saw me playing this deck, I had 3 of these things. Now the dynamic of the deck definitely changed with it's limiting, because you basically just set up your board going turn 1, because you only need 1 Electromite to set up your board, so long as it doesn't get met by a hand trap. And then you sort of stick your negates, or whatever forms of interruption you want, and then you sort of just try to kill them the next turn. It's a very similar dynamic to the Burning Abyss deck, except that Burning Abyss, you know, utilizes their graveyard more. You're utilizing your face-up extra deck to set up your plays, which is kind of unique. Land for Lankus, it's a generic link too that comes up if I feel like I have enough off the Electromite and I don't need to play around with its effect. Metaltron, you typically link it away, like one of these 2 monsters away, Land for Lankus or Electromite, to set up for the Absolute play, which or the Vortex play, I'll show you in a bit. And then Boral Sword, this is the card you're actually trying to race to after you set up, or like going second or whatever, just to kill your opponent in 1 turn. And it's really easy to get to him, like in this deck. And in the event you're playing a more of a control game against your opponent, or a grindy back and forth game, Boral Sword's really good because you can take stuff like Thunder Dragon Colossus or things like that where you know you can't kill him, but you stick an oppressive monster on the field. And I just really like playing both of these like in the same extra deck. It's very satisfying. Vortex Dragon and the Absolute, I've been mentioning this already, but you just make it just takes 2 level 7s to make it. You link, if it goes to the graveyard in any way, you get to summon this guy, and he gets to negate basically any card effect for basically shuffling a Pendulum monster back into the deck, so it's really good, and you always want to try to reach it every single turn 1. Naruto to negate spells and traps, and then rank 4s we got Dweller. Against any graveyard deck, it's just like the best rank 4 in the game, honestly. Tornado Dragon against spell and trap decks, yeah, it's really nice. Carnogorgon's really nice because you can, against Sky Strikers, if you stick a Vortex, you can redirect like targeting, because like all the Sky Striker cards target cards on the field, and you can redirect it to your own cards. So like you can redirect like Widow Anchor to something else, like their monsters or their Eagle Boosters, to make it so your monsters are protected from Eagle Boosters and not theirs. It's really cool. Supreme King Dragon Darkworm to conclude games sometimes. It's really easy to basically put up 5,000 points of damage just with this 1 rank 4 alone. And then Castel. I see people playing Honor Arc. I just kind of wanted more versatility with a rank 4 because I see Beatrice is being summoned. There's no real way to out it like without playing Ignister. I was originally playing Ignister in its slot, but I found this is definitely more versatile and easier to summon. And then the Omega, just to banish a random card. I typically go to this card if I don't know what my opponent is playing, just to snipe another card or resource out of their hand along with Vortex, and I usually feel pretty kind of safe after that. And then going into games 2 and 3, I can stick another like Abyss Dweller, Tornado Dragon, or some other rank 4 to follow up on the next few games. And then Clearwing is basically just a Regeki when he's summoned, destroys all their face-up monsters. And for the side deck, this is kind of where I got a little weaker today. So probably not a good basis to go off of, but I played 4 Kaijus, different ones. You probably shouldn't follow that idea, but I think playing 4 Kaijus is definitely fine. Just against Sky Strikers and Thunder Dragons, those are kind of like the cards I want to see, so really good. 2 Pankratops. This is a 2600 attack monster that gets to pop anything during other player's turn, so cool thing is I can actually Pendulum summon it going first. That's really nice for added disruption. And yeah, it adds floodgates too. Apex Avion. Everyone is main decking this card, but I sort of moved away from it because I saw that in potential hands, I saw like my hands were actually kind of getting I got brick hands and stuff from it because I couldn't really play because of like the scale counts were off or something. So I moved it to the side just for going first. I don't like having it going second, to be honest. Denko Seka for back row decks. Yeah, just flood them out. Call by the Grave, just for more like graveyard decks. Against like Burning Abyss, if they're using Beatrice, I'm kind of scared of fighting against it, so yeah. And then 3 red reboot for trap decks like Altergeist or True Draco. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Pendulum Magician's really fun deck. I think it's really good in this format. As you saw in my side deck and main deck, I'm not maining any hand traps. I think for the most part, it's a much more fair format. I haven't seen like any Rongo decks when I went to the regional yesterday, so I was definitely happy there. So I feel like, you know, playing the deck, you're very comfortable with not maining any hand traps and just trying to play your game every single time because the deck is very, very consistent. But yeah, shout outs to Area 51 TCG, a local gaming store in Modesto, California. Shout outs to you, David, for basically setting up the new spot and location and everything. It's really cool. I had a lot of fun playing out here today, and shout outs to everyone who comes here regularly to play. I had a lot of fun, so thank you.
Thank you, man. Congrats, man. Yeah. Hey, congrats on the regionals too.
Oh yeah, that's right. I got I got 29th place at a regional today, yesterday, so I kind of grinded it out. But yeah, I played this deck, of course. I changed like a couple cards here and there, but yeah. Could have done maybe a little bit better, but I'm still happy that I stuck with it and did all right. So.
What were your matchups and stuff at the regionals?
Oh, all right. So round 1 I played against True King Cosmo, or no, I'm sorry, Demise Cosmo. Sorry. Yeah. So like a trap deck. It went to game 3, beat him. I beat that one. Round 2 I played against Gem Knight FTK. Again, that's like a scary deck where like I wish I had hand traps and he won the die roll, but he couldn't establish the FTK, so I managed to basically get him there. Round 3, I lost the Sky Strikers in time because I couldn't enter my battle phase, and the time rules kind of screwed me over a little bit, but it's okay, it's whatever. Round 4, I lost the Trickstar Sky Strikers. He had Ash for Desires every single game. Nothing you can do about that. Round 5, I played against Altergeist and beat that deck, like a quick 2-0. Then the 6th round, I played against Altergeist and I drew. Round 7, I played against Sky Striker, beat that. Round 8, I played against Sky Striker, beat that, and I beat Cyber Dragon to conclude the day. Yeah, so it's really fun regional. I got to see a lot of different decks being represented. I didn't see Thunder Dragon, surprisingly. I was actually kind of happy about that because it's like I would say it's a little bit of a 50-50 match. Like I can handle it, but I don't know. It's definitely a good deck. I'm glad I didn't see it. So yeah.
Thanks again, dude.
All right, thank you.